Hey everyone, and welcome back to Esther S T. I hope that you are doing exceedingly well. Happy new month. It is indeed the month of September, which is also known as autumn season. I love autumn. The crispy leaves, the cool breeze, but sometimes not necessarily the intense cold. Yeah. Sometimes autumn can be quite brutal, but there are some autumns that can be really good. And I'm really praying that this year autumn will be mwah. But I hope that everyone is doing well. Many thanks to my recent and new subscribers. You are so welcome here. And hello to my existing subscribers. I hope that you are also doing very well. Now in today's video, it's been on my heart for a while to give you encouragement and to remind you that you are not left behind. Sometimes it feels like life is going so quickly. And one of the things that I like to do in particular is really tracking my years gone and seeing the progress that I've made. I was speaking to my husband about this recently regarding how we can track the progress of how far we have come, whether it be in our personal journey, our professional journey, our work journey, our business journey, our friendship journey, our family journey, or the wider community. Whatever you deem as seeing and analyzing your growth in that specific field. And one of the things that I really enjoy doing a lot is not only journaling, but going back on that specific month and seeing how far I've come. So for example, the month of August is gone. Every single day I journal without fail. Even though I might be tired, I will still have to put something in that journal to keep me accountable of my journey. And what I like to do is to go through that entire month of August from the 1st to the 31st and really seeing and witnessing the good moments, the not so good moments, what I've learned in that month, and how I can prepare for the next month ahead. And that helps me to know that for August 2024, relative to August 2023, I've seen such a drastic change coming from a positive place. And this is an encouragement to those who might be feeling that you're doing so much, but you're not seeing the results, or you're living right, you're being obedient, you're giving yourself onto others, you're giving yourself onto God. But if you remember, most of my videos that I've been recording recently have been about seasons and times. And I'm also going to link some of them in the description bar below for you to watch in your own time about the beauty of seasons and learning how to be in the present moment. Sometimes the reasons why we are always looking behind and thinking that we are left is because we are not looking at the current season that we are already in. We think that we need to do so much more to keep up the pace with others, or assume that if we don't do a certain task this way, or if we don't connect with that person, then we're not going to be seen or we're not going to be found. And as individuals, whether you want to admit it or not, we all want to be seen to an extent. Some people, they don't want to be seen for the wrong reasons, but think about it. If it's your birthday, of course you want to be celebrated. If you've had a promotion, you want to be celebrated. If you've gotten married, you want to be celebrated. When you have children, you also want to be celebrated. And all these examples are progresses of grace that happens at the appointed time. But it doesn't mean that because it's happening for other people, it won't happen for you. And this is what I want us to all be reminded of, that life is in stages. It's never a race. And this is why I love the fact that when I really sat down the other day, I said, God, you are so good, because what if this was the only country we had? What if it was just the UK only? No America, no Ghana, no Asia, no Europe. It would have just been wow. But knowing that we have so many cultures, nationalities, races, it brings beauty to life. It really does. And again, all these countries are unique in their own way. America should not be competing with the UK. Ghana should not be competing with Nigeria. Japan should not be competing with China. We all work together. And we can be inspired by the progress of each country, because every country has their pros and every country has their cons. I don't think there's one country in this world that has everything together. Now think about you. Do you have everything together? No, you don't. Do I have everything together? No, I don't. And it's the most freeing truth that you can say over your life, that even though I don't have it all together, I know who does have it all together. And that is Jesus. And he is the one that is able to help you in the season you're in to not feel like you are left behind. Being left behind is a mindset battle that has to be broken internally first. And it takes time for you to embrace, because if you are always around people that are talking about what is going well in their lives and you don't have a safe place to be vulnerable and to be real and honest about how you feel, that's a problem. And that's why I really encourage you that when you want to go out there and network, build genuine friendships. Because those people that you meet who are genuine will tell you sometimes life is hard. But sometimes the reasons why life can be hard is because we are not putting the source in the right place. The person that can help us, who is God himself, can intervene for us when we are struggling. This is not about me trying to do anything in my own strength. There have been moments where I've had to really listen to my heart, listen to my body and say, hold on. Sometimes in these seasons, I tend to just nap. I would set it for half an hour, then I'll increase it to an hour, sometimes 1 hour and a half, and then I'll take a walk. And that is all I need for the day. And I can get back to work and just feel so rejuvenated. But other people, they are working and working and working. Because yes, our economy is going through so much, we feel the need to do so much. Now that autumn is here, we know that the radiators, the electricity will be increasing. And what do? We work, we do overtime, we burn out. And we still feel left behind. So ask yourself, what is life that you are feeling so left behind right now? Why don't you just embrace the season that you're in? Even though what you have is small, as long as it brings you peace, it is better than having so much more and not sleeping well. Being left behind has nothing to do with what you earn, and it should never be that way, or who you work for, or who you are associated with. You need to be so confident in yourself that even when life hits you, and even when it looks like others around you are excelling, don't think you're left behind. Some people, they've been called for more because they are able to handle it. But other people, if God can see that you're not ready to handle where you're asking for, don't be offended. God doesn't want you to break down. He sees what you are capable of doing. And that's why it's important every day to ask yourself, God, what are you teaching me in this current season? With the small you've given me, what are you teaching me? With the large you've given me, what are you teaching me? When you think about the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, I really love this story because 3 people were given different talents. One was given 1 talent, the next one was given 2 talents, the last one was given 5 talents. The second and the third doubled theirs, but the last one didn't. He was fearful, he hid it from his master. And sometimes it's that last person that if we're not careful, we can fall into that trap in. Because we're looking at what other people are doing. Oh, but you gave this person 2, they've doubled it to 4. You gave this person 5, they've doubled it to 10. What have you done with the little that you have? That's why if you cannot be grateful with the small, don't ask for the big. If you cannot be happy for people in their season, don't expect to be celebrated when your time comes. Because I strongly believe that those who celebrate people genuinely will be celebrated. This is not a time for envy or jealousy. In this season that we are in, when there's so much chaos going on, you want to then add your own insecurity to another person. No, this should not be the case right now. It takes time for you to separate from the environment that you're in and work on yourself internally. Because being left behind is your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of other people. Yes, we're not perfect, but we have to be reminded that being left behind is our responsibility to ensure that we are looking at our lifestyles. How are we living? How are we speaking to ourselves? How are we talking to ourselves? How are we encouraging ourselves? What books are we reading? And this is why, as a multi-published author, I love reading and I love writing. Because books is so therapeutic that you won't even have time to think about being left behind because you're learning from the author's mindset. And every single book that I've written is for different seasons, from relationships to healing, to dealing with grief, to marriage, to personal development, to confidence, to mindset growth. Everyone needs these topics in their life. So you need to be encouraged that the books that you invest in are helping you to grow, are helping you to become better than you were yesterday. Being left behind, again, has nothing to do with what you do or do not have. Being left behind is a mindset. If you think backwards, you will go backwards. But when you think forwards, you will start going forwards. And that is what the beauty of life should be about, moving forwards. Even when there are areas in your life that feel like it's blocking you from moving forwards, you can still gradually get there. How? By renewing your mindset, by saying that you are able to make it. You can achieve this goal. Your words are powerful. Your words are like fire. Your words matter. And even if people said things about you that you know are not true or it's been hurtful, don't take them to heart. Surrender it to the one that knows you. Surrender is a very big yet difficult thing to do in our generation today because we want to be in control. You want God to do it this way, but you also want to do it that way. It's either God's way or your way. And I tell you, I would rather pick God's way, because if you do it your way, you have to finish it your way. And it will not be as glamorous and powerful as the way God would have done it if you allowed him to in the first place. So being left behind is a mindset, but you can allow God into your heart and be real with him. I listened to a sermon not long ago, and this lady said something that was so profound, that our counselors, or the ultimate counselor, is God himself. And that if we all took the time to seek God as our counsel, counselors would be out of business. It was so deep, but it is also true. That if we are able to seek the one that is the God of all counsel, who can therefore tell us how to navigate our seasons, then there will not be different voices in our minds telling us what to do, or feeling like we need to always listen and not take the time to be still and just seek God. And most of the times, I always say that it's the fruit that we need to see in the lives of others that can also give us hope. If there are people in our lives that are doing really well, they're able to balance their emotions, they're able to balance their life, you can also find out how. Ask questions. Because those who are able to balance their life well is because they've learned how to release that feeling and the fear of being left behind. Because they know that their season is coming and that there's a time and season for everything. Where I am in the season right now, it came with patience, but it also came with perseverance. It came with working hard, but it also came with rest. All about the balance. I wouldn't be the Esther I am today if not for the fact that I was always looking back and thinking, oh God, when is it going to happen? Oh, I don't feel like I'm moving forwards in life. For where I am right now, I am very blessed and content. I'm not saying that I'm not desiring more. I am, but I'm also learning how to embrace the now. I'm also learning how to appreciate the things that the Lord has done for me. And I want everyone who's listening to this video to look back over their lives and thank God for all the things that he has done for you. You may not be where you want to be. Some of you may be in a comfortable place, but I know that there's still more that you want to achieve. Other people, you are just starting out, and that's a great place to start. Surrender, submission. And other people will be thinking, but there's no way out. No matter how much I try, nothing is changing. Be patient. Be patient. One thing that you must really be thankful for in the season that you are in is that God didn't give you what you wanted when he could see you couldn't handle it. Imagine breaking down on a great blessing. That's not any of my loved ones' portions, by the way. Never. It will never be my joy to see my loved one break down on a blessing that they've prayed for because they weren't ready for it. It's a painful thing when you hear stories like this. But because of their eagerness to get there quickly, maybe one has shortcutted their way to get there and it's been difficult. When you genuinely can't do something for someone or you can't seem to fulfill that specific task, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't think that, oh, but if I don't do this now, I'm going to be left behind. You will be so surprised. Sometimes our lives can become so difficult because we are doing things in our own strength. We are expecting to see the results in our own strength, and therefore we just do it. We don't think, we don't pause, we don't have Selah moments, we don't even pray or fast, we just do. But we're not being, we're not resting, we're not taking the time to be still, we're not silencing down the noise. And anything that you pick up, you are responsible with. But anything that the Lord is able to start in your life, as Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 says, He will complete it. And that is a real promise. And that's why I want to encourage you to study the book of Psalm 121, where your help comes from, which is the Lord above. I love that scripture so much. Looking onto Jesus, because He is our help and our source of strength. Every help that we need comes from Him. And we have to remember this every day, because life can be challenging and life will have its moments. But you also need to understand that there is beauty in those moments of change. No one in this life should think that they're left behind, unless you have done something without acknowledging the Father, or you haven't taken the time to pray, or you haven't even taken the time to even discern your season. Seasons are so beautiful, but they are not permanent. So when you are in a season of busyness, lean into that busyness and work towards that busyness. But when you're in a season of rest, please rest. Don't do the opposite. Just because nothing is happening right now, don't make yourself busy. Just because it's so busy right now, don't feel like you need to just relax and slump. You need to have the balance. You need to enjoy that season you're in. Don't make your season different if it's not the way you intended it to be. Just let it do what it needs to do. Being left behind, I say this again, is a mindset. It's not a reality. No one in this life is left behind unless you have chosen to do life in your own terms. Be encouraged by this video, and please share it with someone right now who thinks that they're left behind. Because what we see online, to some extent, for some people, determines their success. Someone has posted this nice, great picture of themselves in another country. Someone has now posted their new promotion. Someone has now posted their engagement. But does that mean that it will not happen to you? Are you believing? Are you trusting? Are you happy for them? Because your blessings and you moving forwards has a lot to do with how not only you see yourself, but how far you can celebrate people without it affecting you. So be encouraged by this video. Don't allow your silent season of feeling like you're left behind to make you dictate or conclude that your life is the way it is and nothing will change. Your life is going to change, and it's going to change for the better. And I guarantee you, if you can keep up to pace with your journey and journal, you will start seeing so much growth in your life that you never would have seen before. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is one of my greatest topics to date, because my loved ones have to believe that they are moving forwards. I want you to know that you are moving forwards. I want you to also pass that joy on to other people now, because there is power in knowing that you are able and capable of moving ahead. Your lessons that you learned in the past were there to catapult you to where you are now. And where you are now is preparing you for what is ahead. Don't miss it by being distracted. Keep focused on the present. Everything is working out for your good. Many thanks. Until next time, I'll see you in the upcoming video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.